Alright, it's Throwback Thursday time. For today's Throwback Thursday, I want to talk about a non-fiction book called Bringing Down the House. The book was published in 2003, but here are some disclaimers. I didn't hear about the book until 2008 when I saw that the film 21 was coming out, and the movie was supposedly based on this book about a team of MIT students that took Vegas for a lot of money, bringing down the house. I was excited to read it, and I bought it and took it with me on my spring break trip to Ireland, which was just such a fun, awesome time back in 2008. So I read this book at the airport and while on the plane, and one of those boring transportation parts of a trip. That alone might have made me biased to really enjoy the book, because I was having such a fun, wonderful time with it, and to not really question what was going on with the story very much. I watched the movie, and the movie had a lot of differences from the events in the book. Some of it was the same. I also remember at the time that there was some controversy about the casting because there was a white guy playing the lead role in the movie, but the people that it was based on were mostly Asian, though in the book there was a disclaimer about how the author, whose name is Ben Mezrich, had changed names of the characters from the real story, and other than the lead role, the lead character in the book, that the other characters were composite characters where, a nonfiction author will just kind of combine a couple people together and give them a different name for the sake of the story. I didn't think much about it at the time, but it turns out real people involved with the situation complained, and they said that the book was full of inaccuracies. The main character in this non-fiction story is Kevin Lewis, but he's based on the real person Jeff Ma, who says that a lot of the book is really fabricated. And then the mentor character, who in the movie is played by Kevin Spacey, Mickey Rosa, is supposed to be a composite of several different adults who were associated with MIT, and they have also said that they take issue with the facts in the book. Though interesting enough, Kevin Spacey was one of the producers of the film. Some of the historical inaccuracies are about the underground Chinatown casino, that they didn't really test the person like that in real life. One of my favorite parts of the book and the movie was how they cleverly used the strippers to cash out chips. Apparently that isn't true either. It's interesting that it's called non-fiction. Like I said, it was a very entertaining book to read, but the author seems to have made up a lot of details, and so that's really controversial in my mind to think about. The shadowy investors that are mentioned that makes it seem much more mysterious didn't really exist either. The people who invested in the gambling were friends and family members or other students from MIT. Also, some of the violent stuff, the physical assaults, and the way that money was stolen didn't happen in real life the way that they're portrayed, both in the book and in the film. Pretty odd. I've not read the book that is considered the sequel to this, which is called Busting Vegas, but apparently it also has some historical inaccuracies. Apparently the main premise was that it was a group that broke off from the main MIT blackjack team, but apparently the events that it's based on actually took place before the events in Bringing Down the House. The author of the work, Ben Mezrich, he's written several other books, and so apparently he has had a nice career. He's managed to attack several different political topics and businesses as he's produced his works of non-fiction, as they're being called. I'm a little mixed when it comes to deciding how to review the book now that I know more facts about it. With my original read of the book, I probably would have given it 4 stars and told you how awesome and entertaining it was. But now that I know so many outside facts, that's gonna bring the book down to me. I guess I would probably give it just 3 stars at the end of the day, because it's worth a read and look at. I just think people should know that it isn't true. That's it for today's book talk. Every day is a good day for a book talk. Peace.